introducing Councillor Michael Rogers, the Mayor of East Staffordshire, and Mrs Julie Killoran, his Mayor. Okay.
And I guess for some that actually were born in the 60s or earlier, actually working in Burton, you've got an awful lot to tell. And I think it's very vital that your memories can get condensed into projects like this for future generations, the whole of Burton. You see how passionate I am. I don't need notes. This is just coming out the top of my head. So I think it's very important that we do condense all these and all of the knowledge and stories that we can all enjoy for the future. So I'm not going to hold it up any longer. I'm looking forward to see what's been provided so far. So thank you very much and enjoy.
So the Storywells project, what we're going to do, we're going to collect and celebrate real life stories, oral histories, so to speak, of people who lived and worked in Burton in the 1960s and 70s. It's a Heritage Lottery funded project. It's very exciting that they've funded this project in Burton. And what we'd like to do is, in particular, try and collect some stories which are connected to the brewery industry, because Burton has a really wide history of, in terms of its heritage and connection to the breweries. We're also really interested in collecting wider memories from the 60s and 70s for people who lived and worked in Burton, because the breweries didn't happen in isolation. You know, everybody was had some sort of connection working and living in Burton. For instance, I think there's lots of stories people have been telling me already about level crossings, about how you just could not get from one place to another in Burton without going through a level crossing. And if there was a crime in Burton, apparently they shut all the level crossings and no one could leave. That's what I've been told so far. So there is actually, you know, lots of interesting stories already that people have been telling me. So, like we said, we're working in partnership with the National Brewery Museum. They're very kindly donating artefacts and their time and photographs as well to help us out. We also like to work with Burton Libraries, and we're working with Burton Hospital as well. That's really important. That's one of our partners, and we're going to be working with some of the patients in Burton Hospital as well. So the project is going to go on for about the next 15 months, but in particular, in the next 12 months, we're going to capture those stories, hopefully from people like yourselves who live in Burton, and we'll be retelling those stories in an exhibition, in a festival, in a pamphlet, a booklet, which will be available free, distributed through libraries and other places in Burton. And that's all going to happen, that's all going to come together, next October. So in about a year's time, hopefully we can invite you all back to celebrate with us, to look at those stories, and have more tea, cake, coffee, and hopefully beer next time.
It's been really nice to come in today and see so many people here. And I've been getting around, talking to people, and they've begun already to tell me their stories. Often people say to me, how did you become a storyteller? Because it's not exactly a normal kind of job, is it? It's not the sort of thing that when you're about 16 and you're in school and they say, what would you like to be? And you go, storyteller. They go, oh, great. It's an unusual job. It takes me to so many different places, not only in this country, but abroad as well. Because I tell stories, but I collect stories too. I think it's time to immortalise Burton on Trent and tell our stories so that they live on.
Because what we'd like to do is, the project's got another 15 months. What we'd like to do in the new year is to contact people at the end of this year, in the new year, and to start to arrange times to talk to people on a one-to-one basis, in small groups, as appropriate, sort of thing. So, and get those stories down and record them so we don't lose them, because that's really important to us. And we think, obviously, it's a really good event to start with, and it's really busy, but we won't be able to listen to everybody's story and give them that careful detail and attention that they need, really, to make sure that we get them down, really. So if you don't mind, if you write your contact details down, telephone number, name, email, if you're on email, that's absolutely fine. Then, all we'll be using it for is this project, really. Okay, so it'll be for me to be able to contact you, to talk to you in the future. So that's really important for us. It was the first meeting of the Story Wells. It was the first event, and it was really, really. I was surprised how well it went.
The feedback was really good, and people, you could feel the atmosphere because people wanted to tell stories, they wanted to share, and they felt it felt like there was a real excitement about this project.